The Sabbath truth, the ultimate challenge to skeptics and non-believers. The battle over the Sabbath is not about a mere day of worship. It is about obedience to God versus obedience to human tradition. Every argument against the Sabbath collapses under the weight of Scripture. Today, we will completely dismantle every reason people use to reject the Sabbath and present challenges skeptics cannot answer. If Sunday is truly the Sabbath, or if the Sabbath was abolished, then prove it with the Bible, not church tradition, not human reasoning, not history, but Scripture alone. Lie number 1. The Sabbath was only for the Jews. One of the most common claims is that the Sabbath was given only to the Israelites, but this is false. The Sabbath was established at creation. Before there was ever a Jew, the Sabbath was already given to all humanity. On the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Genesis 2:2-3. Did God bless and sanctify the Sabbath for Jews only? No, he made it for all humanity before any Jew existed. Jesus declared the Sabbath was for all people. Jesus himself said, "The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath." Mark 2:27. Jesus did not say the Sabbath was made for Jews. He said it was made for man, all people. The ultimate challenge for skeptics. If the Sabbath was only for Jews, why did God establish it at creation, before Jews existed? If the Sabbath was only for Jews, why does Isaiah 56:6-7 say even Gentiles should keep it? If the Sabbath was only for Jews, why did Jesus say it was made for man, all humanity? Lie number 2. Sunday is the Lord's day, because of the resurrection. Many claim that Sunday worship is justified because Jesus rose from the dead on that day. But does resurrection change God's law? Nowhere in the Bible does Jesus command Sunday worship. If Jesus wanted us to replace the Sabbath with Sunday, wouldn't he have said so? Instead, he declared, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." Matthew 5:17-18. If not even a small mark of God's law can be removed, how can an entire commandment be abolished? Baptism, not Sunday worship, is the memorial of Christ's resurrection. The Bible teaches that the symbol of Christ's resurrection is baptism, not Sunday worship. We are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead, we should walk in newness of life. Romans 6:4. The ultimate challenge for skeptics. Where in the Bible does Jesus command Sunday worship because of his resurrection? If Sunday was meant to replace the Sabbath, why did Jesus and his disciples still keep the Sabbath after his resurrection? Luke 4:16, Acts 17:2. If Sunday is the new Sabbath, why does the Bible never call it the Sabbath? Lie number 3. The disciples worshipped on Sunday. Many point to Acts 27, where the disciples gathered on the first day of the week as proof that Sunday became the new Sabbath. But this is a misinterpretation. Acts 27 was a one-time evening meeting, not a weekly worship service. The verse says, "Upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul preached unto them, ready to depart on the morrow." Acts 20:7. Was this a worship service? No. Paul was simply preaching before leaving town, not holding a regular Sunday gathering. Also, the next verse states, "There were many lights in the upper chamber." Acts 20:8. Why mention lights? Because this was a Saturday night meeting. Jewish days begin at sunset. This was a Saturday night gathering, not a Sunday morning worship service. The ultimate challenge for skeptics. If Acts 27 proves Sunday worship, why does it never call Sunday the Sabbath? If meeting on a Sunday proves a Sabbath change, why does Acts 13:42-44 show Paul still preaching on the Sabbath? Why did Jesus say, "Pray that your flight be not on the Sabbath day," Matthew 24:20, if the Sabbath was going to be abolished? Lie number 4. The law was abolished. Some claim that Jesus' death removed the need for Sabbath keeping. But did he ever say that? No. Jesus declared the law would remain until the end of the world. Jesus himself warned, "Till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." Matthew 5:18. Is heaven and earth still here? Then God's law still stands. The disciples still kept the Sabbath after Jesus died. If the Sabbath was abolished, why did Jesus' own followers continue keeping it? And they rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. Luke 23:56. Conclusion. Choose today, God's truth or man's tradition. We ought to obey God rather than men. Acts 5:29. If you love Jesus, you will keep his commandments. John 14:15. What will you choose?